Hello and welcome to today's presentation of Cvent's platform. We'll be giving you a full tour of end-to-end with everything, where you can start, where you can grow from, and how to maximize your relationship with Cvent and make sure that the platform is powering your program to its full capacity. My name is Michael Weber. I'm a director of sales as part of our enterprise division. And we'll be leading today's presentation. Before we get started, let me give you a little bit of background on who Cvent is. We've been in the marketplace for 25 years, 4,900 strong, and are essentially the most comprehensive meeting and event ecosystem out there, with over 7 million events managed since 1999. And so what we're going to cover today is a number of different things, but as I mentioned, it'd be important for us to go back and really talk about where we've been so that we can understand better where we're going, right? And so event professionals, obviously our lives have all been changed by COVID-19 and some of the impacts that started on some of our business, right? But regardless of whether you are running a single event format like the tab on the left there, or running multi-event formats, Cvent is here to support you, right? To support your process, to support your program, to support your stakeholders in your organization. And that is an important factor to remember as we're going through this, something about a total event program and the best way for us to support you through that. So an important question for us to start with is, how can Cvent help you deliver on growing expectations? The marketplace is ever changing, and it is important for us as event professionals to stay at the bleeding edge. So before we go any further, let's pause, ask ourselves an important question. How can Cvent help you deliver on the growing expectations that your stakeholders, audience, customers, and prospects are bringing to the table every single day? We want to ensure that we're giving them the kind of delight and special experiences that they've come to expect out of you. So let's take a quick look at a video, which will take us through what a total event program could and should look like. So as you just saw, right, your program is specific to you, but Cvent is there to support your program, whatever it looks like, right? So before we dive into specifics, I want to highlight Cvent's flexibility here to support you. Whether you are running a single important individual event for your program, like a sales kickoff or a user conference or an event for your CEO, or you're looking to manage a full total event program, Cvent is to support you regardless of the type, size, or location. And as we move forward, we want to make sure that we are driving a personalized, curated experience, right? Something to impress your attendees, to help you stand out from your competitors. And that's why you engage with a Cvent who has, or a company like Cvent, who has the kind of experience and depth and breadth to manage whatever kind of a program you've got, right? Most organizations start with some sort of a front door, right? A meeting request that often has an approval process through that, right? The idea here is that you are empowering not only you and your stakeholders who have to manage the process thereafter, but the field, where often these processes begin. This kicks off a workflow and will drive through a process here to ensure that folks feel enabled and informed through that process. Access portal allows not just your power users, the folks that are in Cvent every day, but those stakeholders and executives to be able to run reports, extract event data, see appointment calendars, travel policies, etc. Give them access to manage that, but stay out of the weeds within Cvent. We also have modules that help you manage speakers, right? Something that we commonly hear are some of the challenges in ensuring that speakers feel empowered, on time, on schedule, and prepared for day of, regardless of the format, whether that be a digital format for a virtual event or in person, right? Cvent's there to ensure that those logistics and tasks are on spec and on time. And taking another slice at this or another view, in addition to helping you manage speakers and the intake process, often a venue is of uber importance. And for many of your local events or things that are nearby, you often have an understanding of what is right there in your backyard. But as you all know, two different things are common. The marketplace changes, right? New hotels, new venues, new experiences pop up in your backyard on a regular basis. Additionally, many of us are sourcing way above and beyond what our local expertise is. And so Cvent's supplier network is the largest single library of venues and experiences globally. You can quickly build and send RFPs, compare prices, and find and source other providers like AV and transportation right there for you. And so once you've secured a venue, you want to now ensure that you are designing your space to continue to delight and create the kind of experiences that your attendees are looking for. I'm just going to walk you through a quick video on what it would look like to use Cvent to diagram your space. All right, so let's level set for a moment because we've seen a lot already. We've talked about the way in which we can grab intake from the audience. We can start to source venues that are out there. We can help manage and collect data and information to be shared with stakeholders and speakers. And we've even talked about how to diagram our room. And that leads us to one of the next key phases, is streamlining the room block management process for all of us, right? So using Cvent's tool Passkey to manage your room block is really the next phase for many of us. We want to try and remove the onerous Excel spreadsheet, email, phone call process, confusion that can happen for our audience, and make it a streamlined, easy process, again, to empower your attendees to work through that process on their own. So you can create custom booking websites that easily integrate with your event registration, reduce errors, and improve attendee pickup. One of my favorite pieces for Passkey, because my family and I like to do this, is tack on some additional stay either on the front end or the back end of the trip. So shoulder dates can be built right into that process if your attendees are going to a location that they want to spend some additional time, either again on the front end or the back end. You can also build and design incredible event websites. So for those of you who have been customers of Cvent for a while, this is often one of the first places that you touch and feel our platform today. For those of you who are not familiar, this has been a core competency of Cvent for the entire depth and breadth of our 25 years in the marketplace. And so that the latest evolution of that process allows for incredible website design through a drag and drop interface, live preview as changes are made, and incredible control over the design and styling that is representative of your brand and what you're trying to communicate out to the audience. You can use things like theming or CSS built into that. Obviously, the beauty of this here is that you don't have to also go in and recreate the wheel each and every time that you are building a website. Much of this can be done, templated, and then reapplied for future events for a similar look and feel. Additionally, these websites are responsive. They look great on any device, whether that is desktop, mobile, or otherwise. Additionally, you can leverage our tools to help highlight your sponsors, and we're going to talk in the next couple of slides on some of the event marketing tools, as well as the way you can help highlight your sponsors and ensure that they feel empowered and a part of the event as well. So every event starts with communication, and Cvent's powerful event marketing automation is ready. It's ready built into your event management. So if you're running a multi-channel marketing tool that includes social or email, websites, or partners, Cvent is there to support that process. And we want to use some intelligence built into that to help you retarget and ensure that your message is following along with the behavior of your event prospects and attendees. So using some of that intelligence, we can create populated forms or email or notifications that respond to somebody's behavior. So for example, we want to ensure that the right message is going out to the right audience. When somebody says yes, let's send out some information to keep them moving through the process. If they say no, that's okay. We can collect some data and information through retargeted questions or some remarketing for regrets. Next, through personalized outreach, taking this just a step further, again, we want to help you stay on brand and curate the kind of experience that you're looking for. So using Cvent's email marketing tools, we can create personalized emails, segment messaging by attendee types, and drive the kind of experiences from the beginning that your audience is expecting through you. Additionally, you've got most likely complex audiences through your event. So if you want to create the right kind of experience for each of your different audience types, you can use that through limited visibility, registration paths, which are dynamic to different registration types. And frankly, table stakes here, but pre-populate personal information for all of your attendees based on your registrant list or your address book, which may live within Cvent. Registration details are meant to be common throughout the process as well. So as folks move through that process, whether in a digital format like this or through a mobile experience, which we're going to talk about in the next few slides, it should feel personalized with session recommendations, a personalized schedule, and something that helps them feel a part of the event from the beginning, right? Certainly there should be a room for genericized event level messaging, but that extra level of personal communication and experience is what will set you apart from your competitors. So moving further along here, we've spent a lot of time in pre-event, and now we're moving towards an on-site attendee experience. And Cvent is there to help you create better in-person experiences. As you all know, because we're in the events business, that first moment is the most important. So we've got powerful tools that can help power that kind of experience for your audience from the beginning, using contactless event check-in and badge printing, session capacity management, unobtrusive RFID tracking, all to be displayed for you and your stakeholders with active updates, real-time updates in a dashboard setup like this. As I mentioned on the badge printing, we can create the kind of branded experience that we're carrying through from the earliest moments of your event all the way through to this process. There's a lot of badges out there, and the right kind of badge should not be something that's out of your reach and should be able to be printed right there. So Cvent's advanced printing allows you to, again, create that kind of experience right there for your audience, whether that's simple black and white or to large format, which we're looking at here on the screen. And as I mentioned earlier, Cvent's mobile app, powered by Attendee Hub, is for a connected event experience. Unlike many other providers that are out there, this is built right into our platform. So as I mentioned, when that event starts early through that intake or collection process, through our meeting request form, all of the data and information and work that's done to create that kind of event experience that you're looking for carries through our platform. And so much of that branding, feel, and experience and personalization shows up right here within the mobile application. What you come to expect with Cvent is here built into this web app as well, or this mobile app as well. Push notifications, which can be sent out to individualized audiences or individuals, or on the large scale if you need to communicate writ large. And most importantly, help folks engage with content, with each other, and create the kind of special curated experiences that they need. As I mentioned, great attendee experiences should not just start just on the registration side or with the venue, but they need to be carried through from the content side. As I mentioned, notifications are a great way to power that process, interactive maps so that folks feel empowered to explore your floor, and we can open discussions through the activity feed to help curate those kinds of unique crowdsourced experiences that you can't get elsewhere. The Attendee Hub allows you to extend that engagement, right? So we talked about ways to connect audience. Now we can connect content or humans to content and audiences to content, not just on pre-event or during the event, but certainly through post-event, through things like post-event survey and feedback, on-demand sessions through our video library, continued networking, and future events through our event calendar. And as we've all come to know, virtual solutions are not just something of the past, they're here to stay. And Cvent's virtual platform breaks down into two primary categories, right? Webinars, which we're all familiar with and have been in the marketplace for a long time, and virtual events. And those can look like a number of different things. All of that is supported on an on-demand basis by Events Plus, a video library and content library available to all of you, right? But ultimately, we want you to be able to plan and execute those events from one platform, right? We've also got complex studio broadcasts and collaboration tools, Simulive, to power whatever kind of virtual event you're looking for. All right. So most importantly for many of us is the way in which we can connect exhibitors to attendees, attendees to attendees, and sales and marketing back to attendees as well. So Cvent's got a number of different tools that allow you to do that. We're going to focus in on appointment scheduling for those attendees as well. So we can offer exhibitor sponsorship, return on investment calculations here back through appointment, whether those be virtual appointments, pre-scheduled appointments, or one-to-one meetings, which help foster connections back to leads, sales, or brand awareness. With the help of this technologies, attendees can view their schedule make informed decisions, and connect with the folks that they want to connect to. So taking a look here, this is what the interface would look like through Cvent's mobile application. It's a large attendee list. Those folks have got their own profiles. We can set up opportunities for folks to connect, not only through one-to-one messaging, but impromptu appointments, either set there in person or in advance, as we mentioned. So engagement doesn't just happen between individuals. We also want to curate attendee engagement at the session level, right? So just like today, where you've got Q&A and chat on the side of the page, we've also extend that to other sessions as well. So what you're seeing on the left-hand side is a poll that can be run, a game center for gamifications throughout the process, and then topic-based chat to help engage folks where they are around the topics that they're looking to discuss. All of this drives data and information into your event to allow you to do a number of different things. Create a better event for next year, engage your audience where they are, or ultimately create leads on the backside of this. Additionally, it allows your audience, again, to continue to feel connected and a part of the event that you've worked your collective butts off here to make a wonderful experience. So moving forward to exhibitor and sponsor. So you spend, again, a lot of time, energy, and effort working with these sponsors to create the kind of experiences that they're looking for. And part of this is to ensure that they feel incorporated in the process. So we want to ultimately give control for those folks to be able to run the kind of experiences that they're looking for and maximize their exposure, whether that be through virtual booths, one-to-one meetings, or the ability to serve up documents and media back to those folks. All of that can be done with self-service tools through our exhibitor portal. Those folks can help themselves to register booth staff and assign licenses out, see what is out there for them still outstanding, so you can create tasks for those folks. They can manage appointments and access leads in real time, right? For most of us, the return on investment calculation that's built for our exhibitors and sponsors is tied directly to leads. So gone are the days where you need to manage that process for them on their behalf, deliver those leads at some future point. All of that's managed real time in the portal by the exhibitors and sponsors themselves, giving them the power to execute on their sales and marketing motions. Narrowing the focus here again to leads and lead scoring, whether that be virtual or in person, Cvent's lead scoring tools help folks capture leads real time right there, right? That's, as we all know, as event professionals, as sales professionals, marketing professionals, that moment is the most important moment when you are shaking hands at the booth, on the floor, and making some sort of a connection. So using our tool real time, you can rate leads, insert notes, and create the kind of sales motion that is important for all of us, right? So that we can make informed decisions about those leads. Ultimately, that allows you to score those leads and create the right kind of follow-up thereafter. Many of our customers make decisions about where those leads go, right? If a lead rises to a certain score, that might go directly to sales. If it doesn't, still needs some warming up, you might move that onto marketing for further information. Okay. And these are just some examples of real-time actions that can be taken right there on the floor. You can serve up additional information, add in additional notes, or create appointments with those folks right from the same interface. And at the end of the day or at the end of the show, you've got right there in front of you at the user level or rolled up at the admin level, a view of what has actually transpired. You can go back edit those notes, edit those leads, make additional changes, or be able to report on right there what each individual has collected and what those leads look like for them. All right, so we talked about front door, creating the kind of curated experiences that are required by our stakeholders, by our audience, in order to stay bleeding edge. Create digital experiences in virtual formats or in mobile formats for our audiences to connect back to content, back to networking opportunities, and connect to content over the long term, not just right there. And then most importantly, creating those delightful experiences on site from the first moment with check-in, badging, and all that. All of that is creating data and information and analytics so that we can make better decisions about what our event program looks like. So as I mentioned, Cvent really is a digital logging tool in many ways, right? Each tool set, each interaction, each moment creates a digital record. As you add more and more touch points across that process, either at the individual event level or across an event program, you're creating a much more fleshed out view of what that event did for you or did not do. How did folks engage with your content? And all of that score helps you make better decisions, better choices, and build better events into the future. Here's an example of our engagement scoring right here live. With this data collected, you can give engagement scoring to help marketing and sales teams, again, make better decisions. If Ted Danson here from Anheuser-Busch has got a 100% engagement score, that's somebody that we want to reach out to, send them additional content, connect with sales, and move that conversation forward. Obviously, with folks with lower engagement scores, we want to make better decisions about the content that they were delivered or engage with those folks in a different way. Here's an example of what some of that live reporting can look like from a dashboard perspective. And again, all of this can be shared with your stakeholders through the access portal that we looked at earlier. So again, taking a quick look here, data and information should not just live within Cvent. Cvent's App Marketplace allows you to collect data and information collected within Cvent out to other tools that are a part of your ecosystem, or from other tools that are a part of your ecosystem back into Cvent. It's important to take a 360 view of what your ecosystem looks like and ensure that you are empowering all of those tool sets to do the jobs that they need to for you to create the kind of program that you need to. All right, so we focused a lot on events that we are responsible for and that we're hosting. Now we're going to pivot and take a look at the shows that we attend, trade shows, right? So if you're attending a trade show, we want to give you a quick introduction on the ways in which Cvent can help you empower that process. They really break down into two primary categories. Lead capture through iCapture. Tool helps you to streamline and automate that process regardless of where you are. So again, universally applied here, we want to help you avoid some of the pitfalls in using these show originated tools to collect those leads. We're going to dive into iCapture in a moment here. Same thing with Jiffle Now, automated business-to-business scheduling tool that helps you schedule, manage, and analyze the appointments that your group or your attendees rather are taking in person, whether those be virtual or there at the trade show in person. So diving into iCapture, this helps you, again, not just capture leads, but capture leads intelligently regardless of where you are, right? The beauty of iCapture is that we can create common data sets across all of the trade shows in your program, right? Ask similar questions or the same questions by business unit. So let's take the average organization, right? Let's say that you've got 5 different business units that are out there, and you each attend 10 trade shows per year, right? what we want to do is remove the silos between that data set for each of those different groups and ensure that you are not only creating better intelligence and automating that process wherever possible, but you're ensuring that you've got protected data and compliance. And most importantly, that information is syncing back real time back to CRM, whether that be Salesforce or your CRM of choice, back to marketing automation platforms for real-time follow-up or what have you. iCapture helps you, again, create standard experiences at all of your events, better data, better decisions, better leads. Speed to lead is the most important piece here, and that real-time integration is the real value. In addition to iCapture, appointments are a key part of the trade shows that you're attending, right? And we want to create, again, a seamless, standardized process for those appointments, not to just show up and be there, but to be leveraged in the right way for your audience. So Jiffle now allows you to manage those workflows in a standardized process. Again, connect that back to other tool sets or report right there real time within the platform, regardless of where you are, right? So we don't have to work through Outlook and work through that process. It's built right here. It's connected back to whatever calendar you're using as well, so folks can work either within the platform or out in other tool sets. We want to try and create quality and efficient experiences for everybody. So again, Cvent is here for the long term. We've been here for 25 years. We'll be here for the next 25. And we want to help you manage your total event program. And ultimately, that's driven by a dedication to service, right? We've got a 24/7 support team that's award-winning and focused not just on helping you solve the problem, but helping you avoid those challenges into the future, right? We've got a complete training program that also helps you empower yourself as well as your audience, or excuse me, as well as your team to deliver on the requirements of your program and scale to the level that you need to. We've also got professional services support where needed, right? So staffing concerns are prevalent all over the place, right? And certain events require an additional level of support. We're here to build the kind of program and support that you need for your events, wherever they are, whatever they look like. And finally, all of that is great, but if you're not compliant with whatever the latest requirements are, none of that matters. So Cvent gives you the peace of mind of knowing that your data is secure, both from a GDPR perspective, CPA, or any of the other constraints that you may have from a compliance perspective. Cvent is on top of that. We are SOC compliant, ISO compliant, and are really one of the key leaders in this. And we take this extremely seriously. And it is really a security first approach to the way in which we engage with you, your audience, and your data. And perhaps overlooked at some level, but certainly should not be, is our powerful community. When you join Cvent as a customer, you not just join great technology and great service, but you join the thousands of other folks who have come to trust our team and our technology. And our job is to continue to facilitate the power of that ecosystem and open that up to you as a customer, to tap into that knowledge, tap into the 25 years of experience and all the wonderful folks who are a part of our customer ecosystem. So before we wrap, I want to give you one quick view again on what we talked about, right? Cvent is there for you, whatever your event program looks like. We talked about a single event, but Cvent is there to scale down or scale up to whatever you're looking for, right? Here's an example of what a total event program could look like. internal, external. We talked about trade shows. Cvent is there to help you support that process, whatever it looks like, across various different delivery models, in-person, virtual, hybrid events, webinars, whatever they look like. We've been here for 25 years, as I mentioned. We are going to be here into the future, and we are there to support you through your process. If you're ready to learn more, which hopefully many of you are, I'd also like to extend to you a $100 Amazon gift card. So please sign up for a demo with us. We'll pop the link into the chat. To any recipients that are outside of the US, the gift card can be converted from $100 USD to another currency available of your choosing. This is the end of the actual presentation. And so if you have to jump, thank you very much for attending. But we're going to stick around and answer any questions that you may have. And just as a reminder, enter those questions into the Q&A function on the right-hand side of your page. Thank you. Okay, thank you all for attending. And again, just a reminder, on the right-hand side of your screen are various different functions. Feel free to interact with chat at the top. Certainly would like you to drop in some questions, and we have a couple of them that we're going to get to here in just a moment. But as you can see, I'm wearing a different shirt. That was a recording, as I'm sure you all have now pieced together. But another update in addition to my shirt is that we've added some additional functionality to Attendee Hub, which is the name of the technology that we are viewing today's webinar on. We've added this pop-up at the bottom. So I said the gift card would be in chat. It is now that blue box at the bottom of your screen. So we do hope that you take advantage of that. Again, just a reminder, if you are not US based, that's okay. We can modify that to match whatever local currency you're looking to receive that gift card in. So thank you again. Let's get to the questions. And we're going to start with the first one here. Are we able to use venue diagramming tool for our own internal event space? It's a great question. So we talked about Cvent venue diagramming, during the presentation over the last, several minutes here. And absolutely, that's the beauty of this tool. It's to be used, and we wanted to use it for the spaces that matter most for you. Many of our customers do in fact do that. They've got large office space that has got dedicated event space within that, or shared event space if you're in an office that has that, and you want to use this technology to map that space. Absolutely, right? Many of us also rent out our spaces to other organizations that are out there. So it's another great use case for that. Many of our customers do not. They just use them for third-party spaces at hotels or dedicated event venues or what have you, which is also okay. That's the flexibility that's built into the platform, and should be something that you should be able to enjoy day one as soon as that's a part of your platform. So great question. All right, I'm going to move on to the next question here, which is it possible for different attendee types to have different experiences during the registration process? For example, sponsors have a unique path versus general attendees. Absolutely, right? We're looking to create unique experiences, or help you create unique experiences for your attendees from the beginning. So not just during registration, but all the way back to event promotion and some of the early phases to get the word out there, right? You might want to have a different invite for one cohort over another, right? That level of audience segmentation is built into all of the different phases of that attendee and registrant journey. As I said, from invitation through registration, to the mobile application, to the check-in and badging process, to the way in which we serve up different sessions and session content, to the way that we collect post-event feedback from all of those folks, right? And most importantly, it's easy to use to set up those different segments and cohorts and modify them and move people around, as we understand that events are fluid and dynamic, and should be set up that way for you. Additionally, for the marketers, sales folks, and data junkies who are on the line. Audience segmentation is a key piece of our data first approach, so that you're able to report and create the kinds of ongoing customer and prospect journeys as the data leaves your events channel and merges with any other parts of your, as I said, customer and prospect journey outside of this across your marketing plan. So that level of segmentation is there, built into the data, and should be carried on to things like CRM or anything else, MAP, or any other database that you'd be dropping data into. Great question. Okay, next question. Does Cvent have an event calendar functionality? Oops, sorry, I hit answer instead of display, so I'm going to display that. Does Cvent have an event calendar functionality where we can display all upcoming events we are hosting and embed them into our website? Absolutely, right? So first answer is yes, we can do that. That's part of the process, right? And we want to help you promote internally a wide array of all of the things that you and the rest of the users are doing today, because it's obviously impressive stuff, and we want to get the word out there, right? And help you manage that process for internal registration and promotion. You can also not just create one calendar, but multiple calendars. So similar to that cohort process through registration, same exact process for the calendars. It's essentially a tagging process. So let's say that you have, just for argument's sake, 100 events on an annual basis, right? 10 of them may be internal events. Another 10 may be for a particular business unit, and another 10 might be for external roadshows, as an example. You can create a master calendar across all 100, and then those 30 that are unique or separate could have their own individual or standalone calendars for those different individuals. So you can promote specific information just to those folks. There's a lot more that can be in there. There's an automation process as those events change, some really cool stuff. But event calendaring is an incredible way to engage your internal audiences. There's even some ways to get to some external audiences through your website. We can get into that and follow up. So that's a great question. Okay. Keep the questions coming. We got a couple more here that I want to jump into. And this asks, is social tables an added or extra function? Really depends on your contract, and we'd be happy to talk to you about that. Generally, it is an add-on, but it's something that we want to talk through the specifics of what your customer orientation is. So we'll follow up with whoever asked that question, and happy to dive into that more specifically with you. Great question. Okay. You mentioned printing large format badges. What is the max size? We print VIP credentials for music events, and I'm wondering if this is something that we can do. Yeah, so we can follow up with the exact specifics on the large format, but as somebody who goes to music events, I generally understand what you're talking about. The large format PVC, it's a big badge. That's right in our wheelhouse. What varies for us is a couple of different things. It's cardstock supplier. So the supply chain, we just got to make sure that what you're doing, and then, printer is another key thing there, so we can dive in and look at the hardware requirements for what you're looking for. But fundamentally, the software can print across a wide array of different formats. And so we just need to engage there and figure out what's going to be the best fit for you. So great question. Happy to follow up with you on that a little bit more specifically as well. Okay. So is training extra or included? Can you become Cvent certified as an external or independent user? So we've got a wide array of different training initiatives. Most of our training by volume is free and available to Cvent customers. We've got a large knowledge base that's accessible to all of our customers. A lot of that is contributed to by Cvent professionals industry vets and other customers, other folks that are out there. So we're trying to create a flywheel of community around those folks that are living, eating, breathing, sleeping Cvent on a regular basis. There are also regular training modules that are available to customers. Some of that's self-driven, others are public and administered. There are also obviously paid options as well for deeper customization and timing purposes. All of that it can be some of it is publicly available to you all, as we mentioned, but some of it, especially for the paid engagements, we'd want to just discuss that with you and scope out what you're looking for, and can go through that. In terms of Cvent certification, yeah, absolutely. As an external or independent user, yeah, we don't bar different folks from different things. As long as you're a Cvent user, we're happy to certify you. Obviously, a huge amount of our certifications happen at Cvent Connect and our other user engagement conferences that happen globally. But we do, one-off Cvent certification all the time. And that's a great, it's a great tool to have, especially as an independent user. So happy to dive into that and talk through that a little bit more deeply with you and in follow-up. Great question. Okay. And I'm just looking at this. One of the ones that I answered earlier about the badges, just as an example, that was asked anonymously. So if we do want to follow up with you, but I can't follow up with somebody who's anonymous. So if you are interested in getting additional information, just send me a quick little chat here, or you can certainly shoot me a note or a text, or LinkedIn, what have you. I know we gave LinkedIn earlier, so happy to follow up with you. But I just need to know who you are so we can follow up with you. So thank you. Going to stick around for another 30 seconds. If there are any other questions, happy to answer them. Otherwise, we are going to wish you a wonderful, happy holiday season. Hope all of your stuff goes swimmingly well towards the end of the year, and that everybody around you is happy, healthy, and you're able to see them during the holiday season. So thank you all very much. We look forward to seeing you all soon. Thank you.